Aloha. Yoga is many things. Some of the things that it's like is the present, unity, stuff like that. Today, let's discover why yoga might be the eternity. Now, think back, we've all been in school, right? And in class, you may have noticed a lecture or a problem that you're trying to solve in the class. Feels like it's taking an eternity. Forever for this yammering teacher to yap, and get to the end. What is the answer? Just tell me. Well, maybe we're not as wise when we're younger. And that eternity is actually the learning experience in action. And when we feel present in that moment, it may feel like it's taking forever, but that's our brain wiring the information so that it can say, aha, I know the answer. So let's view eternity as slightly different perspective. Let's take eternity as what's inside of each of us is an eternal place, a place that's so vast that we don't even have a true word to describe what it is. Inside, whatever, we have multiple words of describing it, but there is no true definition of it. So, I guess there is a definition of what's inside. It's just, it's unknowable yet. So maybe inside of us is eternity, a space so vast that even if you sat still and went through it for millennia, you'd never find the edge of your mind. Maybe that's what's cool about the mind, is it's set up to be an eternity. And if we use this tool, the mind, as a place to pick up learning techniques, you can see. Just for a moment, I like to view it this way. In that setting of school, public school, they may say, you're an empty bucket, so here's this information, memorize it and fill that empty bucket. And I say no. I say you're eternity inside. And if it seems dark right now, get a bigger flashlight. Shine light on that new information. Shine light on what you are inside. And so when you practice yoga, or you implement physical yoga practice, say doing poses like mountain or triangle, or even just a set of poses put together into what was called a flow. If you do something like that, your physical body will start to learn from itself in the postures, learn how to stand correctly, how to balance, how to breathe, most importantly. And what's really interesting about the breath is when you get down to its nitty-gritty feelings inside and out of you, you start to see how everything expands and contracts based on the breath. Now, your body does this, so that's physically easy to see. But what does the mind do? How do you find that inside the breath? Your mind can go in and out as well. You count to 4 on the breath in, you count to 4 on your breath out. If you do that enough times, eventually you'll forget how to say the number 3 to yourself. This is where the mind goes out. You see? Now if you can keep your concentration each breath cycle, you can focus your mind. And your mind starts to learn from the body starts to learn from the mind directly. Now what does this have to do with eternity? Because, well, you can learn from these two things for an eternity. Now, in the physical sense, we are very limited by what our bodies can do, maybe the money we have for the places we can travel. However, from what we know about the physical realm of the universe, it's very, very vast. It seems like it stretches on for an eternity. Now right there, that mental thought of it stretches on for an eternity. I bet if you travel 100 miles, it feels like an eternity. But if you travel just an astronomical unit, it may feel like an eternity. But what's out there is more light. So if you keep on going, you're going to find something else. You're going to connect to something else in the physical space. No matter how dark it is, for how long it is, there's going to be this tiny bit of light that as you get closer to it, it will grow or get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you'll get to know what that planet is, or that star, or that moon, or maybe two galaxies are colliding, or maybe it's a star blowing up, or creating a quasar. I don't know. Whatever it is, that light starts to shine brighter. You see? And so the physical space seems like an eternity out there, but it's ready to be explored. It's ready to have you learn from it, grow from it. There's plenty of people already in this world that know so much about the physical world. You can take courses on that. That's easy cake. You can spend an eternity on this. But I want you to see, or maybe like me, you could see that in eternity can be an optimistic viewpoint. You can spend an eternity in one breath, but learn it's just massive amounts of information. And if you keep learning in this way, just think of what potential you might possess. Think of what potential you might gain and grow into. And just know that you're this powerful being inside and eternal inside. And if we can connect those two in just a simple little tiny belief or discipline, well, imagine what the possibilities are. And I'm sure the list goes on for an eternity. But play around with words. They're a lot of fun. You can open up in new ways based on your viewpoint. Of course, yoga is meant for this. See if this works in your practice. Practice one inhale and see if you can match that sense of eternity and notice the learning process in the present moment. Now, I hope this helps. If it doesn't, just let it go, and find something else that works. So, it's from my eternity to your eternity. Namaste. Aloha. Have a great day.